Yeah, that's like that's low IQ levels.
I mean, I don't know that probably, but their influences are so bad that it's remarkable that they keep coming back and just don't switch to a different app to maybe listen to an audiobook.
I was having to drive to the west side of the state for work, and it's like about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 45 minutes. You know what I listen to? Thomas Sowell.
Mm.
Listening to Thomas Sowell.
Well,
You try to tell someone, like, yeah, I just go listen to Thomas Sowell on my way there. And one of my coworkers like, who's that? Never heard of that guy. I'm like, are you kidding me?
can you hear that? Do you hear that,
Have
Nick?
you created? Yeah, I hear that.
This is from Japan. It's a handcrafted Japanese Zen wooden drum. It's called an uku fuku kuku.
Interesting.
I can't remember the real name of it, but it's got a name.
When I worked for a Japanese company, my coworker would always come back from Japan with like candy from their Kit Kats.
Mm-hmm.
And like Japan has like the best flavors, like strawberry flavored, but like their candy is like half the sugar that we have here, and it's like all natural. So it's like it tastes so much better.
Mm.
And like my coworker was telling me, she's like, yeah, in Japan they like measure your waist like every year. Because if it's too big, like they cut you off certain food and they start charging you more for health insurance.
Okay, I've been reading a book and creating YouTube videos for the campaign to elect John Kitover to the office of the mayor here in Chicago as a libertarian. And we're live on YouTube now with many viewers. The algorithm really does help actually with time when you use it. Actually matters most on when you get the views. And at the 8 o'clock hour Central Standard Time, this is a prime viewing time for people who are looking at their cell phones throughout the world, really. Maybe the United States especially, but it's called day parting and marketing advertising, and it's so important that your campaign strategy is always optimizing spend based on day parting, like right now, when you get maximum viewers are the biggest bang for your buck. Most purchasing decisions are actually happening right now when people have free time to go to Amazon and load up for their delivery tomorrow or starting at 4 a.m. Have you ever tried to modify when you buy things from Amazon? And are you a Prime member? Nick, hello?
Fine for a bit, but I just quit after a year because I don't really modify on there, and I just use my friend's account anyways, so I'm like, no need to.
Are you sure you're not Jewish?
I know,
I
right?
think there could be a reason why you can't seem to attract a butterfly to your flower. Is it because you don't open up the checking account wide enough for the ladies? You want to go out on a date Friday, Saturday night? I'd love to buy you dinner. Sure, where are you taking me? I'm taking you to Johnny's Euros. You ever been there? Johnny's Euros for a first date? I'm not going to Johnny's Euros. Baby, I'm the mayor of Chicago. It's my restaurant. You're the mayor of Chicago? Really? Let me see. John Kitover, Chicago mayor. Wow. Sure. I'll go with you to Johnny's Euros. Here's my number, 312-666-6666. Thank you. See you soon. Bye, Johnny.
Back on the app, are you gonna go troll him?
No, I'm like really trying to detox from listening to Clubhouse. I'm like actually just trying to like be productive and not get hypnotized with other people's speech or content. You know, I'm trying to be master of my domain. I heard Mikhail in a room once. He's like, I'm God here. He's like, maybe I'm being too charitable. I am God in this Clubhouse room. I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, this fucking loser. You know, just totally wasting his time.
I keep reading all these books about like Goldman Sachs and working there. And like I told you, I just read that work that one recently called like Bully Market. Man, that is like such a horrible place to work. There's no way I used to want to work there, like, because all my professors in college was like, well, if you get into Goldman, like, this is like the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
And then you like read all these books about like working there, and you're like, no thanks.
Well, it's really just that starting compensation package, which is so remarkable that, you know, now you're making 4x what most other people make. So, you know, it alleviates and solves a lot of problems in your life. And it's hard to walk away from, you know, 400,000 plus a year. It's nice money.
Right. Because that's the thing. It's like, that's what that lady said. She was making like $1 million a year.
Yeah.
And,
the Christmas bonus must be the most amazing, like, wow. Like to just get that wire transfer year after year for the Christmas bonus. You're just like, wow, 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 wow. I must feel amazing. Wow. Wow.
exactly, when you see like $150,000, $200,000 at your bank account. Yeah, it's insane. And she wrote in this book, like, all the men would make fun of her because like she had kids. She just had a baby and she was pumping breast milk, and Goldman didn't allow that. And then when she had her like third kid or something like that, she said, fuck it, I'm doing it anyways. And people would walk by her and say moo, and they would put cows on her desk, like stuffed animal cows. And she was just like horribly treated. Then she promised her husband like one more bonus and I'm quitting. And then she waited until like it cleared her bank account, and literally the next day she put in her notice, and they're like, you can just leave. When she wrote this book, she said like she did an interview on YouTube, and like Goldman denied everything, and they're like, no, we checked with human resources, it's not true, none of this what she said was true. Yeah, because Goldman has like the best lawyers money can buy.
Well, you know, life and money and destiny and options and access and what your life is like, you know, it's an experience that you can tailor, and it's fantastic if you make great money. because then you can hopefully, tailor even better. But ultimately, life is like a riddle. And some people who even succeed to a very high level, they end up having downfalls or passings. Like, yeah, the founder of the grocery chain Aldi, he jumped out of a window during the 2008 financial crisis. So, that's the thing. It's like, to me, it's very difficult to achieve a state of a very high level courage, bravery, and overcome fear. And, to go on these bombing runs in Iran, Tehran, a lot of just faith in the machinery, uh, you know, because there's no guarantee that you're coming back. Those rockets move fast. And, but, you know, how do you view Donald Trump as being like a mafia terror don? Is he like the Godfather? Because not many U.S. presidents take out major country heads by blowing them up. In an alliance with Israel on top of it, which is pretty bold alliance. Saying when the war is over, it'll be too late. Like he's shaming them, saying, "Oh yeah, you guys are our biggest allies historically, huh? Where are you? We don't need you. Don't worry about it. We got this." Because it's.
The thing about Trump is he's actually a troll. He'll troll anyone.
Is he the troll philosopher king? Like, is that because that's why I think he won the elections, is because he trolled the establishment. But trolling is basically, how would you describe Donald Trump trolling versus regular person trolling?
He's just direct about it. A regular person doesn't try to troll, but Trump's just more direct about being a troll. John, you gotta go on the replay on Monica by the Fire. She did a room about
About what?
you can about the art of being a troll. So you can hear Monica's take on it if you need an expert opinion.
It really would be very cool to organize a Clubhouse in-person award ceremony and do a roast top trolls, and actually make a convention and try to get people to come out from Clubhouse and mix reality with Clubhouse and film it.
Hilarious. And then you could have Jonathan Bing, Grant Cardone, and Cindy Stumble be moderators.
To me, it would be very fringe, or like if BB showed up, that would be something special. BB is the blessed one.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. A live Clubhouse award show.
Yeah, an award show, a roast, but really just like actually an event, like a conference room to film it, to like interview the people who come here and like make it into real content, take them from a PTR reality into like the YouTube video world, which is really the real value, the real monetization opportunity, because advertisers work with YouTube and videos are where it's at. So it is something I'd like to plan this summer as a part of my Chicago mayoral campaign to invite and organize a Clubhouse event in Chicago.
That would be hilarious. Just listening to all these people seeing it. I mean, like they basically isn't that with Chatter? You're on screen, you're on video.
Yeah.
Because I go on Jonathan Bing's Instagram and there's tons of him on video there. Just doing running rooms, debate the news on Chatter. Do you know that little kid on here? And what's his name? He's like 24, 25, and he's a communist. I can't think of his name.
You know what's interesting about is, I make so many recordings and so many clips and edits, etc., that technically everybody's life is technically completely filmed. And clips really make a big difference because you don't know what's outside of that clip. So if you were to watch this live stream versus watching just a compartmentalization, and so running ads and running for Congress, running for, but part of getting elected is having multiple interactions over an extended period of time. Chicago.com to learn about our campaign as a libertarian Chicago mayor. Just go to Chicago Mayor browser, type in ChicagoMayorVote.com. Let's get a new mayor. Bye, Brandon Johnson. Bye-bye. Cuckoo. Cuckoo. Go to JohnKitoverChicago.com right now or ChicagoMayorVote.com to see our website and to get rid of Brandon Johnson, the CTU history professor, communist, socialist, racist, extremist, choking the city to death day by day. You see, Nick, then we hit clip, and that's another 10 49-second videos. But I'm trying to focus on the keyword optimization. Like, it'd be great if I could go in and quickly edit Brandon Johnson, Chicago mayor, and assign it to that clip. Like, that's the kind of little fingers that I need to help me just keyword optimize the shit out of what I do. Because advertisements are expensive, but search engine optimization is real. Like, keywords match people's searches, and we need to countermatch searches. It's the one way to win in life, whether you're running in politics or you're running a slipper and a shoe business online, or a barbecue restaurant. Like, it's all keywords, always. Like, $6 a click, $10 a click, $20 a click, $200 a click for a high value keyword. Oh my God, Rabboni Shalom, really that much? Wow, mesothelioma, $420 a click. Wow. I have mesothelioma, tuberculosis, and I got sickle cell anemia. And when I ejaculate, I got the ED. What's the trouble I heard from your birthday and death? Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. Welcome to the John Kitover Experience. It's really not just a political libertarian movement. It's actually a media experience. And we hope to delight. We hope to entertain. We hope to illuminate. So hit that like button. Subscribe right now. You're live on my YouTube channel. Subscribe and like right now. And then go to JohnKitoverChicago.com or ChicagoMayorVote.com. We need to change the election and get Mayor Brandon Johnson out of Chicago. You're toast, Mayor Brandon Johnson. Don't even think about running again. And Quigley? Well, little Quigley, he's an LGBTQ Halstead boy dancing with the pretty boys. Only John Kitover is the normative, heterosexual, Christian, white male you've been looking for. Yes, I'm completely bald. Shave that head in the bathtub every couple of days. Some people are like, John, how do you get such a clean shave? I said, I shave it in the bathtub. If you want the beard, Nick, how's your hairline these days? Are you still losing hair?
No, my full head.
Wow. Lucky man. The stress of life completely obliterated my scalp. Like feathers on a goose, just plucked them all out. Stress, 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 stress. Just ripped my hair out of my fucking head. Sorry, Chicago Mayor John. I had to take all your hair. Minoxidil, finasteride. It didn't matter how hard I tried to chemically castrate myself. My hair still fell out. Oh, look, we got Shiva here. Krishna, Krishna, Shiva, Rabboni Shalom, Om Gam Ganapataya Namaha. Just a quick little entrance by Shiva there. Thank you, Shiva, just for appearing. No need to speak. Beautiful. All right, we're arriving at 8:45 p.m. CST. You know what that means? That means we are going to advance this show. It's not going to go for more than 7 more minutes. We're going to quickly read a book here. Now, Nick, I know many people just come here to talk. But some of us have large book collections, and you know what? Some people are like, you know what? I'm fuck it. I'm just gonna read a book on Clubhouse and live stream and then clip it. And then see that's what I'm talking about, the value of a clip. Um, and so this is why I read books, because the value of me reading a book into YouTube has value creation. And I think ultimately it'll be rewarded, it'll be monetized. But my challenge really is the keyword optimization, because I'm about to read you a book called The Secret Key of the Mysteries by Eliphas Levi and Aleister Crowley. And, those are the value keywords. But instead, it's just going to say John Kitover for Chicago mayor. And I'm okay with that, because technically it's all just hypnosis. Really, when I read a book and create a 60-second clip, Nick, it's actually just an ASMR hypnosis clip that I hope, because people listen to it, they go, "What? What was that?" But see, they're also confused by the video, because right now I'm wearing a very weird 60s hippies tie-dye shirt with a hat. And so it kind of throws the eyes. People are like, "Who is this guy? What's he talking about?" It's confusing. And because I can confuse people, I can hypnotize people. And because I can hypnotize people, I can monetize them and get Ziploc to pay me to show them to buy a Ziploc bag. Huh. How many Ziploc bags does a guy need? You know what I'm saying? How many waste management branding commercials do I need to see? Oh, thanks, Waste Management, for getting the city of Chicago garbage contract for $1.3 billion. Technically, life just comes down to law firms sending you debt collection notices, it turns out. That's the holy scripture of our society today. But go to johnkitoverchicago.com or Chicago Mayor Vote. This is your daily Kabbalah study with candidate John. When does the possible and magical miracles begin and end? Here is a serious and important question. What is certain is the existence of the facts which one habitually describes as miracles. Magnetizers like KP and sleepwakers like Nick do them every day. Sister Rose Mella Tamister did them. The illuminated Vintros does them still. More than 15,000 witnesses recently attested those of the American mediums. 10,000 peasants of Berry and Ceylon would attest. If need were, those of the god Chenot, a retired button merchant who believes himself inspired by God. Are all these people hallucinated or knaves? Hallucinated, yes, perhaps, but the very fact that the hallucination is identical, whether separately or collectively, is it not a sufficiently great miracle on the part of him who produces it, always at will, and at a stated time and place? To do miracles, and to persuade the multitude that one does them, are very nearly the same thing. Above all, in a century as frivolous and scoffing as ours. Now, the clubhouse world is full of wonder makers, and science is often reduced to denying the works or refusing to see them, in order not to be reduced to examining them or assigning a cause to them. Okay, Nick, this is my AI music. Tell me what you think.
92, your heart and my heart are very old friends. 93, love is not an emotion, it is your very existence. 94, I don't want learning or dignity, I want respectability, I want this music and this tone and the warmth of your cheek against mine.
A write-in candidate.
What?
Like, can you actually debate this idiot mayor you have running Chicago?
Bro, my buddy Max went to an event a week ago, and he's like, come to this event. And sure enough, my buddy met Mayor Brandon Johnson, talked with him, took a selfie with him. I should have gone. Very few people showed up. 20 people showed up to greet him. That was it. There's a publicly advertised event.
Someone, like I said, there's a YouTube clip of a lady calling him the N-word. And I'm like, man, this guy is really fucking bad. And I didn't think it could get worse than Lori Lighthead.
Oh, Stumpadink is here. Oh, my producer talent agent. Thank God, I was thinking about you today. Dr. Jordan. You know why, Dr. Jordan? Because of strength, yeah. I was thinking about also Dr. Jordan Gruber on here, Dr. Jordan, who does a lot of weightlifting, and truly there's great wisdom in lifting weights. And Arnold Schwarzenegger in Conan the Barbarian says, his father says, Conan, you must learn the riddle of steel. You can't trust a woman. You can't trust your horse. But you can trust this fucking sword, Conan. You can trust this sword, and when you draw the flaming sword and strike the master chord, Conan, you will have solved the riddle of steel, Conan, and Crumb will be very angry. Crumb lives inside of the earth, Stumpadink. Dr. Jordan just came for a quick hello, eh? He doesn't think it's funny, huh? Can't please them all, Nick.
That room you had yesterday was good when you brought in David. And you try to figure out how much vodka David drank. That was hilarious.
Man, I have roasted some people. I swear to God, doesn't David seem almost like he has Down syndrome? Like technically based on his communication capabilities here?
I mean, he's been on the app sober sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. But on the whole, he doesn't say anything intelligent. He can barely have an intelligent conversation other than, hey, you want to go to the hockey game? I got season tickets.
Respectfully, John. Respectfully.
Hello?
I don't think him or no, the Swedish girl, Becker. She's the one who's always drunk on here too. I don't think she's ever been sober. But she actually broke down in a room once because I was asking her how many shots of vodka she had this morning. And did you drink the whole bottle? And I guess she lost a child. Like, she was married and had a kid, and the kid died. I don't know if it was like suddenly or what. And like because of that, she became like really depressed. And she's 40 years old, not married, and she was dating this guy for like 8 years, and he wouldn't marry her because she was a model, and there was differences in assets, and she was giving like her whole life story. I'm like, and I felt kind of bad because I would troll her in every room, and call her an alcoholic. Then I realized, like, yeah, she's faced a lot of.
Well, Nick, you're a cool dude. You're smart. You got everything going for you. Just always remember that, you know, you want to do the mind control. You want to do the time control. You don't want to be manipulated. You don't want to be controlled or subversively. Like, you want authentic, genuine. That's what everybody wants, everybody says. But I would just say that, you know, if you don't come on this book and you don't read books, you know, try to do what I'm doing and you will see, like, basically how you can control your mind. Because genius, you know, is difficult to achieve, but ultimately it deals with concentration and focus of the mind. And this app can trick you it actually, anything you hear on this app tricks you instantaneously. Let's just put it that way. If you remember that, you'll know that every room is the same as every other room. And that's when you go, aha, I found the secret. I figured it out. And it is so remarkable that technically everything that everybody says is something new. But is it intelligent? No, it's not. That's just the truth. My opinion, but it's a fact. And so, you know, I have a tattoo on my arm that says I'm the wisest man alive, for I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. So I'm very tentative. People always ask me, can I get a situation update? I say, sir, it's very tentative.
Well, Socrates said that quote, he who knows nothing.
I have another tattoo on my arm that says, those who say do not know, those who know do not say. So the whole thing is do not say and just be silent. And this is where this Japanese instrument comes from in the Zen temple. The Zen temple is actually the STFU temple. Meaning that the more we think, the more we speak, the further from the truth we get. Our silence is the high value moment. Without the silence, there's no differentiation even between the words. And you can never figure out the truth of the earth because you're always talking. The truth is right before your eyes. It's pouring into your ears, and it's you, Y-O-U. Y-O-U, capital Y-O-U, little Y-O-U, big G-O-D, little G-O-D, Y-O-U. You know, it's just three-letter word conspiracy, Nick. Cat, dog, you, bat, man. It's all just three letters. So the real fun in life, Nick, is when you realize that you're constantly like on the run or getting pushed around. But there is a way to try to control the chaos of basically the content, because we live in an age where our cell phone and our TV and all these other devices technically are constantly binging and trying to cling. And that's why I say the cell phone is the new prison. But the genie in the bottle is you. And the bottle wants you to go back in it, but technically you want to be free as the genie. So to totally disconnect, you know, your cell and the whole thing is you can make wishes and they can come true, Nick. That's the secret, is to know that miracles happen. And books are one way to create spells or cast miracles. I'm almost 100% sure of it, because when I exchange my stupid opinions and my foolish facts and I replace them with the book and books, it's almost like typing into the universe just because I can live stream it on YouTube and clip it. I know that sounds stupid, but it's all about the way that I'm programming myself and programming other people who might watch my videos. I know it sounds stupid, but it's almost like conditioning hypnosis 101, where, you know, it's a little bit like Andy Warhol's Star of Fame, Dance and Sing. Like, I released a dance video today of me dancing to the Donald Trump video, and I seductively take off my jacket and grind my hips. And so that type of ridiculous video is what we would call in film production theory supernormal stimulus or super stimulus, meaning that it's so stupid and cringe that it becomes extraordinarily super. Now, some people will just laugh at it, and some people will call me a schmuck or crazy or stupid or funny or weird or cringe. It doesn't matter. I actually just want the comment. I want to generate the response. That's actually all I'm trying to do. I'm agnostic as to what I show. I just want to create a high value supernormal response to a supernormal video. And that is my theory on creating art, for commercial consumption. And it's proprietary, it's copyright. And if you retransmit this conversation in any way, shape, or form, Nick, I will sue you into oblivion because you don't have my express written permission. And, I hear that all the time from people on this app, but do I really care? No, I don't. Because I know that all communication is just hypnosis. And until a letter shows up by a law firm, it's all just online hypnosis. Clickbait or click talk or bait talk, basically. We should create a new app to compete with Chatter and just call it Bait Talk. You want to get baited with a scam and word? This is our filtration. This is our pre-qualification app for losers and suckers that we're gonna try to scam. You got a grandma worth $13 million? Well, do you know about our new investment fund? Yeah, man, $250,000 for a qualified investor like you, bro. We got you, man. You could 5x this money with us, bro. You know about Chatter? You ain't used no Chatter? Come on down, let's invest in that Chatter. Goldman Sachs is one of our investors. Yeah, we're with State Street, we're with Vanguard, we're with BlackRock, we're with Ty Lopez. Chatter! We with Grant Cardone, dog! Grant Cardone comes on here, dog. Cindy Stumpo comes on here while she's at construction sites. We got it all here on Chatter. I signed up with them, and some guy named Yakov, some Orthodox Jew, must have called me a dozen times trying to get me invest in their hedge fund. I'm not making that up, Nick. Like, that's true. He's still in my contacts, actually. He shows up on Snapchat. I don't think he works with them anymore. Just a possibility. Maybe he was doing like a secretary job or something. Who knows? But man, that's a crew, bro. Somebody said that this app is actually all for gangbangers.
like Resistance, that guy he's like an ex-convict.
It's more than that. It's like, bro, if I just gave you a sample right now, it's like listening to a fallen world of demons in hell. It's intense.
Europa was a former child molester.
It's worse than that. I heard two girls talking about how they killed somebody, and one of the girls was like, "Bitch, why were you eating the body? You fucking cannibal bitch." And I was like, "Is this real?" Could be. Bro, I mean, people murder people every single day on the trains, drive-bys. Like, we live in a society of people that are actively trying to kill other people because of online social media dopamine insults. That's what the police do. The police investigate all these phones and they look at all the comments and the private text messages and they say, yeah, based on these text messages, we think, Shaniqua here killed Tamika with the knife. So sorry, Mrs. Johnson. And she's like, my baby! It's all here in the Instagram messages. I read it myself. Thank you, officer. No lawsuit, but the city of Chicago has paid out $160 million in police corruption and abuse settlements, but it's really the law firms that walk away with like the fucking tens of millions, 50 million, 100 million.
They're gonna love that. But what do you think about this whole Trump thing about they're saying these tariffs are not constitutional, and there's over 2,000 suing the federal government for a refund on these tariffs, but I don't think they're gonna get it. Seeing a source of income And look at what our budget deficits are going to be. They're like, what, like $2 trillion a year now? That path is not sustainable.
Well, the whole thing is, to try to recoup and recollect costs money, and there'll probably be settlements, but basically, like it's really up to Trump. And when Besson says, we're going to have to refund 250 billion, it's all taken out of context. It's all clipped. You didn't actually watch the whole context, so it's actually who is holding it, and that's why possession of 9/10 is like that's really who's got the play, who's got the position, and then the enforcement component is basically like the next check. But the whole thing is, I don't know if you read, but Bahrain instituted force majeure against Iran, meaning that they've seized Iranian assets and investment, etc. Like the partnership is null and void because of the attack. So we can do force majeure too, and we can also ensure all these transportation routes because because we can. Nobody could say no. Dude, Trump, people don't realize how much Trump is basically like Caesar Alexander, in terms of like the military structure. I mean, his address name is Commander. That's what people say to him. Yes, Commander. You can say yes, Commander, or yes, Mr. President, but it's the same word because
Right.
he's really the five star. He tells the 5 stars what we're doing. This is the strategy. Send me reports. I'm going to the Mar-a-Lago to go to a wedding Friday night. Send me a report by 10 p.m. Tell me how many strikes we made. Tell me what the ambassador's saying. Tell me what is this guy saying? What is that? Hegseth is like Marco's, whispering to him, Mr. President, Commander, we need more men, Commander. How many more men do you need? All right, take him from Tennessee, take him from South Carolina, take him from Florida, bring up the boys from California and Texas too. Bring them all in. Give them all operations orders and send them all to our bases throughout the Middle East and prepare for a massive strike. Yes, Commander. Melania, pass me the ketchup. Double cheeseburger.
The Diet Coke. What does he drink? Like 6 of them a day?
I got a number 6. 2 cheeseburgers. Supersize it for Donnie. Look at Stinny down there. She's got an FCK war. Stinny, I hate to break the news to you, but war is a word and FCK is not a word. So one of those is real and one of those is your opinion projection. And really, it's all just propaganda because the truth is, as someone who went through a military training system, I know that every year we produce thousands of military officers. And because we have produced thousands of military officers, that means we have 20 to 30 years of reserve military officers that can engage in combat on a global scale and operate the world's most sophisticated weapon systems. And if there is a draft or there is an activation of all former U.S. military officers, I, as a mayoral candidate for Chicago, will absolutely volunteer my services. And if you live in Chicago and want to join the 1st of the 118th Chicago Infantry Brigade that I'm setting up here to do police watches and citizen watches, we can accommodate you if you want to deploy. If you're looking for a possible federal pension and you want to go fight to the death in our active 8 battle sites throughout the United States, I, as your mayor and possible congressional representative, can assure you a job with the United States Army. I will personally commission you in the John Kitover 63rd Regiment, or the 1st of the 110th Chicago Brigade, Light Brigade, obviously. We have an anon in the room. Anon is the closest thing to somebody who's anal. Retentive, maybe. Can't go into that room and let people know that I'm there, but I'm listening. Is it a me problem? Or is it a John Kitover problem? Maybe we're both Mutually assured communication. Meaning, Mr. Anon, that without you, I wouldn't be talking about you. But because I don't know who you are, I'm just roasting you. So you know that it's a you problem. And you can't respond. You can't put anything in the chat, and you're probably like, oh, I wish I could shitpost him or go up there and say something to him, but fuck it. I'm in Anon mode right now. I'm just listening, bro. All right. Well, also, Nick, everything here is being broadcast on Spotify podcast. The John Kitover Band is also publishing this to DistroKid and Apple Music and iHeartRadio and all these other little bullshit platforms that nobody uses, but apparently people use. I just use Clownhouse and I create the content. Everything you hear is copyrighted, trademark John Kitover, including this wooden Japanese drum from Tokyo. Incoming news, breaking news from Max Rice News. Senator Elizabeth Warren will be in Illinois 09 on Friday for a canvass with Daniel Bliss. Oh, no. Oh, no. Men are dressing up as women, trolling us all. I just troll them right back. They spam me, I spam them back. People always want to try to get me involved in something that they should do. I don't do other people's work, Nick. It's one of my favorite rules. Is people, oh, come here, do that. But then I always regret it. And I say, you know what? I should have gone. But you know what? Shooting YouTube videos, creating these videos is like so important. I don't think people know that. Not many people can do what I do. People that I know who like what I do will never do what I do because for some reason they think that they're like, trying to control the narrative or something, but they're not really doing any conditioning work on themselves or others. So they're just spamming me, but not actually doing the bigger conditioning projects that they would need to have a bigger success. But that's what people want to do. Fine, then you can be a part of my network. But a lot of this is I'm a pusher, not a puller. I use gravity to do the work, Nick. I don't know if you know that about me, but people say, John, what do you do for a living as you're trying to run for mayor? I say, oh, I'm a gravity worker. They, what? I say, I work for gravity. They say, you work with gravity? What kind of business is that? Is that a company? I go, no. I work with gravity, meaning I don't, oppose the flow, the force. It's like being a Jedi. I'm a force flow, conduit. I just let the force flow through me. I don't resist it. I don't oppose it. Nick, for example, do you know what happens when sound is cast against, a pool of water? Oh, look, Jeff is here. Hey, Jeff. You know how water responds to sound when it's emitted against water? Do you know what it does?
No, I don't.
Well, the interesting thing about water, you know how Bruce Lee said, be like water?
Yeah.
So if you were to take like a megaphone and a very loud speaker and play, the Rolling Stones against a pool of water, those shock waves that emit that sound flowing towards that water. Well, guess what? The water just moves with the sound, with the energy. It doesn't actually talk back. It just amicably corresponds or acquiesces, or the water just accommodates. Water is accommodating. And so technically most people on this app are not accommodating in the slightest. They are the opposite of water. And so when I come on here and I, amplify myself and scream or correspond and give them, a hello, well, sometimes people don't respond like water. They're very unaccommodating. and they say, kick that N-word, kick that N-word. Not accommodating in the slightest. So I guess what I'm saying is most hosts in the real world are just not accommodating. In a job, you're dealing with hosts, you're dealing with green beans, aka management, and they're not accommodating. So basically, they're not like water, because I'm the kind of guy who believes that closed mouths don't get fed and that the squeaky wheel gets the grease. I'm going to use my mouth. That's why you hired me. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I did not hire you to use your mouth. I don't want to hear your mouth. Unfortunately, I come across too many employers with that attitude. Sorry, John. Your intelligence is not wanted here because we want to control the situation. We don't care how intelligent you are or how much of a better idea you have or opinion you have or what you think would be the more appropriate thing to do here or where things are at. We just want to control the situation. So no need to talk anymore, John. Just shut your mouth and then I will control the situation. Hello? And so recently I found out that a former federal employer and my former employer at a federal agency took a leave of absence and was transferred to Atlanta. She's no longer in management, Nick. And so I have a $200,000 lawsuit against Scott Bessent in the United States Treasury. I'm not making this up, by the way. A 700-page complaint. That's how much fucking work, man. Some contractor, some lawyer drafted a 700-page complaint, and I haven't.
My whole thing was, aren't the Fed and the Treasury supposed to be independent? And Biden appointed Janet Yellen to run like our Treasury Department. Yeah, that's Marxism 101.
The Treasury is really a tool.
Treasury Department of Goldman Sachs. It's just Goldman Sachs that runs it.
The Treasury?
I mean, look at when Obama was there, and it was the Bush years, the Obama years. It was Hank Paulson was the head of the Treasury. Then it was Tim Geithner. They're all former Goldman Sachs people.
Nick, that's not what's important. You have to look at it as an annual budget. The Treasury's annual budget of 80 billion. So when I was going through the contracts and using SAP, which is owned by Oracle, the entire contracting system runs through Oracle, and I pulled the biggest contracts, and there was no information associated, just blanket contract, not following actual contractual procurement laws, but just like Boston Consulting Group, $3 billion, but no explanation, no description, but still entered for like the number, they'd still want to generate the number, but they don't actually follow law with regards to the contract because it's not open source. It's not open bidding, and it's just put in there. So, whoever the head treasury is appoints all these capos that head up all these different business units within Treasury. I was within the IRS, and within the IRS, there's 15 other business units or 10 other business units, including CI, which is the criminal investigators. And my manager, who called me a whore, you man whore. She's like, you a fucking man whore, John. I was like, what did you say? She's like, you a fucking man whore. I was like, I'm writing you up, bitch. I'm suing you. I'm going to sue the IRS. Don't you dare talk to me like that, you fat fucking pig. Eat your fucking sandwich, bitch. That's what I said. Then I sued that fat fucking pig who called me a whore. Because that's sexual harassment, isn't it, Nick?
It is.
Had to report it, had to sue. Wouldn't stand by as a mayoral candidate and that black bitch called me a fucking man whore at work. No, sir. Not while she was stuffing a potbellies down her throat. But anyway, she took a leave of absence because the senior manager couldn't deal with her anymore. She was too incompetent. I'm not kidding, Nick. This is not made up. This chick is so incompetent and obnoxious. It's unbelievable.
I believe it.
But it was like driving Miss Daisy. Oh, look at that ceiling tile. Look at that ceiling tile. That ceiling tile's out. We got to change that ceiling tile. John, take it down to that ceiling tile. That ceiling tile over there need to be replaced. Why isn't that ceiling tile replaced, John? Write it up, John. Put it in the system, John. Yes, ma'am. All right, John. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Hello? So, Nick. Hello? He said it out. Oh, we're going to play some music here.
The eagle strikes with his jagged claw.
All right, everybody's gold.
A storm of silence, a broken I am born to death, reborn on the hunt. I want.
Okay. I invited El Normo into the room. We'll see if he's available. El Normo, the great clubhouse superstar. Let's see who else we can get to come to the clubhouse room for the John Kitover launch party. Guess I can't play music, huh?
Real violence to Crowley. Technical labors of animal labor. Also figured out I think you cyber. Metadata lies to Crowley. Libers liber. Also figure out Concordance. Alice to Crowley. Liberals figure out Lily Alice to Crowley, liberals figure out liberals figure This is our law, and the joy of the world. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. L.I. Forte.
Hello?
More. Also northeast PA, Scranton, you have, there's 400.
But I do have a question, because, Sid made that meme the other day, and I was asking you guys, because you guys are a bunch of Jews.
You're an anti-Semite racist piece of shit, Pepe.
Where they grew up.
You're a Jew-hating midget, you fucking piece of shit.
Oh my god. So, no, I'm asking you some sort of question, Johnny. Like, when it comes to the... What are you doing, Gordon?
Pepe is an anti-Semitic midget piece of shit.
Oh,
Fuck
God.
you, Pepe, you fucking Jew-hating, racist, anti-Semitic midget piece of human shit. Gold.
The law. The strong. This is our law. And the joy of the world. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Ally 40. To eat what he will, to drink what he will, to dwell where he will, to move as he will on the face of the earth. Free man has the right to think what he will, to speak what he will, to write what he will, to draw, paint, carve, etch, mold, build as he will, to dress as he will. For man has the right to love as he will. Take your fill and will of love as you will. When, where, and with whom ye will.
I don't know if y'all know much about the race, but Sidney Heidsmith is up for re-election. And it says, Scott Cologne is
Chicago, it's time for something fresh.
He's a black man. So it says his challenge to Senator Heidsmith isn't about revenge over her blocking his bid to become a federal judge, but that she still come to regret it. Had Hyde-Smith not objected to Cologne's judicial nomination in 2023, he would be on the federal bench for life, and the Mississippi GOP senator would probably lack a real opponent. But she used her veto power as a home state senator to stop Cologne, and now she's in the unusual position of running against him.
I go turn it up. I'm John.
She's really
Chicago. I'm John Kitover.
in November.
Hi, I'm John Kitover, Libertarian candidate for mayor of Chicago.
I'm really gonna hit her. Charismatic 43-year-old district attorney is to be clear an extreme long shot as a Democratic candidate in a deep red state, but he's building relationships among the Senate Democratic caucus in his favor to win the nomination on Tuesday, which is coming up tomorrow, making the Magnolia State another one to watch in a sprawling battle for control of the chamber. And this Senate race has far more personal intrigue than the average. After Cologne withdrew his nomination, he dug into Hyde-Smith's voting record against laws investing in infrastructure and the domestic shipbuilding industry. He concluded that those cuts against the tradition of Mississippi senators bringing home the bacon for one of the poorest states in the nation. It's easy for me to forgive somebody for stopping a judicial nomination. Now, what's motivating me to run is how she's betraying the people of Mississippi, Clump said. You forgive her for that, but not for the rest of the way that she's conducted herself as a senator. The campaign is getting ugly already. In a statement for this story, Jake Monson, which is Hyde-Smith's campaign manager, said, "I wonder if Cologne regrets advocating for sex changes for children, protecting the doctors who perform the surgeries. If he doesn't now, he will in November." Cologne signed onto a letter 5 years ago to condemn the ongoing efforts to criminalize transgender people. The Democrat responded that he sure did. And here her telling Mississippi beef amid rising prices and a reference to her recent comments about how there are many proteins to choose